So the
Yeah.
perfect program is always being constantly updated and revised. Is that maybe something? I mean, maybe I'm
Well,
speaking for you, but
no, well, yes, it is always updated and revised. However, I'll say when I think of the perfect program, I think of what lands on the page. That is the program.
mm,
The coaching is outside of that. And um, not putting words in anyone's mouth, but I appreciate Brett Bartholomew's content, Art of Coaching. He talks about we periodize our programs. Why is it that we don't periodize our communication? Right? Like, are you talking to a 12-year-old athlete, or are you talking to a parent of an athlete who used to do football and thinks that they know about the weight room because their coach taught them how to bench press? The way you talk to each is very different, right? Like, we
yeah,
had people that were elite grapplers come into the gym that we used to work at. How we talk to them is very different than how we might talk to um, a young gymnast athlete. Those are different conversations. We need to periodize, and even within a season, right? Are they starting their season? Are they ending their season? Is the team run down? Is morale low? Because maybe I don't need to be hard on them at that point, or maybe I do. You know your athlete's best, but we need to periodize what we're saying, how we're saying it, and how we're trying to light that fire in our athletes and our people. And that's the coaching. The program is what the program is, which is why I say yes, it's always updating and revising and adapting. But and I think this is what you were agreeing with, that the communication side of it plays a bigger role in its impact of whether they do the program, the perfect program that we've written or not. And the perfect program now may not be the perfect program, next year. Hopefully those systems get revised. Um, but yeah, the communication piece is huge, and I'm guilty of it, not periodizing it. I mean, it's so I. This is kind of why I gave you a hard time. Is how do you take account of that? If you don't evaluate yourself on how each session went, then
yeah,
are you going to remember at the end of the season what went wrong in that first week of training? Unlikely.
yeah,
So when we used to work at the place that we did, when I was real young, go getter, made myself like a little evaluation sheet, right? Like, what did I think went well in the session? What didn't go well in the session? What do I need to coach more? What cues did I miss? Who did I, not have a touch point with and need to circle back with? And if you do that at the end of each session, you can really find where the gaps are and fill them much
yeah.
more quickly than it's like New Year's resolutions, right? I'm going to get more fit. It falls off at the end of January. Now December rolls around and you're like, all right, so where did I go wrong back in February? And it's like, you have so much time between now and then. Let's evaluate, have more of those check-ins.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
I really like that. I just wrote a ton of that down. I feel like that's definitely something that I haven't heard much conversation over, and that definitely is is kind of part of this whole system that you're creating for the person you're working with. You know, and the eval sheet is something that I'm probably definitely going to be looking into more to probably talk to you more about, and then you know because you are right that it used to be something that was always at the front of my mind when I was doing internships a lot and when I was being evaluated a lot. And now that I'm not getting evaluated, it is easy to be in a place where there's a lot more comfortability, right? In a place where you're not growing as much and learning as much. So that is, yeah, that's interesting. I really like that.
well, I mean, it's the same thing as coaching, right? You're not gonna. The reason coaching works is because someone's watching, someone's holding you accountable under the bar in real time. So when we're doing our own workouts, we're not as strict. We get away with more because we're doing it by ourselves. But when you have that account, like if to bring it back full circle, when you have internships, well, yeah, you're aware of the eval and the criteria because you want to do a good job for school. You want to do a good job under the supervision of your, person in charge. You mind your P's and Q's a lot more. And then you run the weight room. And it's like, well, I don't got to evaluate myself. I run this thing. And
Yeah.
that's where the gaps happen. And that's where problems occur. And people say, and I'm every bit guilty of it. Well, I didn't mess up. It's my weight room. The athletes didn't do it right. And it's like, they didn't do it right because you didn't cue it. Like,
Yeah.
it's so easy to,
Yeah.
to kind of shirk that and be like, I don't need to evaluate myself. I know what I'm doing. I'm a head coach. It's like, yeah, but that's not where growth happens. That's like the opposite of what we tell athletes. Like,
Exactly.